Hey everyone, this is Alex, Justin, and Smoke. That's an alias for my friend here. We're doing our end of the year awards for wrestling, 2012. And we'll start out with the Rookie of the Year. Justin, you want to go first?
Yeah, I said Mr. Touchdown from Shikara because I think he had the biggest impact, and he came in right away and had a big impact. He won the Young Lions Cup, had some really good matches. I was very impressed with him. Mr. Touchdown.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. I said Mr. Touchdown as well. It was tough between him and ACH, but I chose Touchdown just because, in my opinion, he's the guy that kind of just broke out huge. He had a lot going in because he was replacing Sugar Duncton as a member of the Throwbacks, and people got into him. He was great on the mic, great in the ring, and just his match with ACH was incredible.
Yeah.
I actually went with ACH myself. It was between the two.
The
only thing is about Mr. Touchdown is that I've heard that he's not necessarily a rookie. A lot of people don't consider him a rookie,
okay.
So
ACH
is what I went with. And one thing I want to mention is this guy, he needs a contract.
Yeah, I think
Give him a contract. He's an amazing
He's in the ROH Top Prospect tournament coming up, so
there
that's...
you go. Well, so is QT Marshall, so we got
yeah. Fuck him, we don't like him. Okay, next up is Announcer of the Year. I'll start this one off. I said Nigel McGuinness. I think last year a lot of people thought he deserved it, but he wasn't around long enough. But this year especially, I mean, the two matches sent up for me for that he was calling were Elgin versus Davey and Elgin versus Kevin Steen, where he just is losing his mind and is just marking out along with the fans, and you can just tell how much he's enjoying that. And him talking makes the matches feel special. He just knows how to bring the right amount of emotion, and he always makes a match elevate. He's like the JR of ROH, and it's a shame he's not on commentary anymore because of his role as a matchmaker. One of you guys go next.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and I want to say that I agree. Nigel deserves all his accolades. He's great. He brings a different perspective because he's from in the ring.
Yeah.
But that being said, I went with Excalibur from PWG.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
This guy has the ability to make a terrible match hilarious and worth watching, and worth watching more than once.
Yeah.
He's a guy that has improved every year, and I can't say anything bad about the guy.
I think we all can agree we've been not paying attention to matches because we're listening to him going back and forth with Joey Ryan or whoever on commentary, and that's...
Okay, for Commentator, I agree. I said Excalibur from PWG just because he has a good mix of being funny and entertaining and also being informative in his matches as well. So, Excalibur.
Okay. Next up is Breakout Star. Smoke, you want to start this one off for us?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Okay. Someone's not prepared for this?
I went with, I believe it was, Adam Cole. This was his year. I mean, he came out, he got the TV title, he won the world title in PWG.
Yeah.
He showed that he can be the baby face and the face of a company, or he can be the heel.
Yeah.
So I was impressed.
Yeah. Okay. You go next, I guess.
I agree. I said Adam Cole for basically the reasons you listed. He showed it in the ring. He has great mic skills. He really he was consistent throughout the year as well. He didn't really lull. He did it in multiple promotions. He became a huge star in PWG and ROH, among others. And Adam Cole for me.
And we're going to make it a hat trick. I said Adam Cole as well. I mean, you can mark it with the was it the 10th anniversary show was this year? The 10th anniversary show where he pinned Davey, going on, and then having that match with Kyle O'Reilly at Best in the World.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
That match, holy shit, man. Talk about a match that no one was excited for, and then all of a sudden it's like...
Star-making match.
Yeah, for both those
guys.
And
the thing is, it wasn't a star-making match where one guy made the other. It was two young guys
just going out there and just beating the shit out of each other, and just I think the fans were hyped for it. Winning Battle of Los Angeles. I don't think anyone this year said Adam Cole's going to win Battle of Los Angeles. Everyone was saying Brian Cage or Willie Mack or Elgin was a big one. But Adam Cole winning was a big shocker, and then to have a great heel run that he did in PWG and to end the year, win the belt. I mean that's huge. And Adam Cole, and I just hope that ROH is smart and will kind of give him more room to grow and not just make him a baby face, so clean and make him a little bit more.
Give him an edge.
Yeah, give him an edge, and I'm hoping that happens next year.
Jimmy Jacobs feud.
Yes, we're big fans of that.
Yep.
Okay, let's do overrated, and I'll start this. Or Justin, you start this one.
Okay, overrated. There were many choices.
Several this year, yes.
I struggled with this, but my answer is Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin.
Oh.
Because they showed to me in 2012 that they're not really that great, and maybe they are better than what they showed, but they just weren't
They're
trying.
lazy in ROH.
They weren't worth the price. They weren't worth the amount of time they took up. The feuds, they had the tag titles multiple times when they shouldn't have. They took up so much time on the card that could have been for other people. I am saying Haas and Benjamin.
Yeah, I'd say Haas. I was surprised by Benjamin. I said Ryback. I think I can all agree. Like Ryback, when he first showed up and did his squash matches, they were fun and they were like, okay, it's kind of goofy and all fun and games. But then, as soon as they wanted to start taking this guy seriously out of nowhere and putting him in title match after title match when he doesn't deserve it, he hasn't earned it, and just he's green as goose shit. He's been in wrestling for 8 years, and he still can't fucking sell a move. He hurts people in the ring. He's stiff. He's just clunky. And, God bless CM Punk for trying to make that guy look good, but he can't. He can't wrestle that guy to a real quality main event, even though he's tried. And just, Ryback they need to stop this mega push soon before it gets worse. But, Ryback totally overrated this year, and, no justification for his big push he's gotten.
I agree with both you guys, I must say.
Yeah.
With the Haas and Benjamin thing, those guys brought down every show they were on. Wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Also, but for me, the most overrated was Sting. And that's because at this point in his career, he has no business being in main events. None. He can't wrestle the way he used to.
He wears a shirt all the time.
Right.
To hide his beer gut.
But not only that, but he overshadowed Austin Aries' reign as champion when he was in the Aces and Eights feud.
Yeah.
And he was the center of it.
Yeah.
And TNA this year decided to make a Hall of Fame just to put him in it.
Yeah.
So, I'd have to go with Sting.
Yeah,
let's also point out, even this Thursday on Impact, Ace and Eight's beating the shit out of Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. Who's the rescue? Sting to beat, with a baseball bat and
the thing
beats
is,
the shit out of 8 guys.
they made it. They even told us that was going to happen.
Yeah.
They told us when he was going to come back, and then they waited till the end of the show.
Yeah,
We knew it was gonna happen.
just one of the worst. He just some walking out, no music, no nothing, just I'm back.
But also not overrated just because of being overpushed by the company, but the fans just still eat him up, and he's overrated by the fans as well.
Jesus.
So
And Hogan.
God, Hogan needs
Hogan and Dixie, man, those guys.
Yeah. Thank God Dixie's on
love
TV.
him.
And I'll also throw out 2 guys I think just honorable mentions. Jeff Hardy, just because, let's face it, this guy does not deserve the push he's getting. And also I think John Davis a little bit. He's just gotten this monster push when I think a lot of people are just why the fuck is this guy getting the push?
That's a good one. I like that too.
We should mention he's in Dragon Gate and Evolve.
Yeah. If he had gotten the match with Johnny Gargano at the end of the year at Evolve 18 instead of Sammy, then I would have put him on there for higher probably for sure.
Justified.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's next we got?
Underrated.
Underrated, okay. I'll start this one off. For most underrated, I had a really difficult time saying this one, but I'm going to say Eddie Edwards because this year especially, Eddie, started the year with kind of a storyline to go on, but then as the year got in the middle of the year, he seemed to have no direction at all. He had nothing going on. They kind of built up this whole die-hard challenge in ROH, where he was going to challenge former champions. That pittered out fast as hell. And he's never really had direction this year, and it's a shame for a guy
Lost to Rhino.
Yeah, he lost to Rhino. It's just a shame for a guy of his town, who's probably one of the best wrestlers in ROH, to have no real direction. And thank God the Wolves are back together. That will give him some direction next year.
Definitely.
Give Davey and him something to do. Keep him busy. Make the tag team division a lot better. But even POG, he was kind of overlooked, I think, a lot.
They just kind of threw him with random partners.
They just knew he could wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. And I love Eddie, and I just think that he was a little overlooked this year. I don't think he's given a chance at any promotion to be the top guy he can be. And that's a shame too. So I'm gonna throw him out there for most underrated.
That's fair.
You're next, I guess.
All right. For underrated, I went with Willie Mack this year.
I almost picked him.
I had him up there too.
I felt like 2011, we all thought he was going to break out.
Yeah.
Almost everybody thought he was going to win Bola.
Yeah, definitely.
This was a guy that we saw a title. He was going to hold the title.
3 men to 3 men. That's a great
Absolutely.
match. I think people thought he should have won the belt there.
And not only that, I don't want to blame PWG.
No.
Because he's one of their workers, and he put on great matches. But the problem I have is that this is a guy that he's got the look, he's got the style.
He's got a unique look too, and like he's a big guy who can move. That's a
agile,
very agile.
The thing is,
he's not fat. He's husky.
Yeah.
And the thing is about that is that the indie fans, that's something that would really capture their imagination.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think he'd be over with almost any crowd just because he has a charisma to him.
Yeah, he's
right. And that's the thing. Why he's underrated is that PWG's the only one booking him.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Why the fuck doesn't ROH pick this or Chikara?
Gabe, you got
it.
Anybody, please pick up Willie Mack. Give this man your money.
Imagine him in Chikara.
He's gonna make you a lot of money.
Eat that guy up. I mean, he's awesome. You know.
Any East Coast promotion he would fit.
Oh man, absolutely.
All right. I said I almost picked Willie Mack. That's a good one. I said the Super Smash Brothers, which is kind of weird.
Wow. Okay. That's
because I feel like on a big scale, they're still kind of unknown, despite being the PWG. They're pretty much only big in PWG.
They got booked a little bit better in Dragon Gate and Evolve.
But still, I still think they're only in PWG. I don't think that they're unknown. I'm just saying for their level of talent that they are not as widely recognized as they should be.
Yeah.
The thing is, last year I'd say they were.
Oh, it's criminally underrated.
But I think that Super Smash Brothers and the Young Bucks kind of in the same boat this year. Forgotten, pushed aside. PWG's the only one that really did anything with either of them. I guess that's not true. Chikara.
Yeah, Chikara really pushed Bucks. Yeah.
No. Well, you cut yourself.
Yeah. Okay. What do we got next?
Most improved.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Most improved. Yeah. Sorry. I'll start this one up. I said Michael Elgin. Michael Elgin this year, like going to the end of last year. Like I think a lot of people said, like, okay, this guy's got some potential. Like especially with Survival of the Fittest and just some really great matches he had near the end of the year. But this year, where did this guy come from? I mean, his match with Davey blew away expectations. I don't think anyone saw that match coming. Just
no way.
And like, I think even ROH didn't know what to do with him after that. Like they just like, where did this come from? Like they did not know what to do with him after that. I think that was the problem. And he's established himself as a main eventer this year more than I think any other guy. He just took the ball and ran with it. And you know, it shows like in POG, like he's gotten excellent there. He's been great there. Came really close to winning Battle of Los Angeles, which I don't think, a lot of people expected. I think a lot of people were expecting a PWG regular to win that.
Oh, yeah.
But, holy shit, man. This guy needs to be ROH champion next year. If not, ROH is wasting his time.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm going to go next.
Yeah.
My most improved, I know some people have had a problem with this. Like, it's kind of a controversial pick because other people have picked him, then other people said this isn't a valid pick. But I chose Kazuchika Okada from Japan.
I knew it.
Okay.
Because he just came out of basically nowhere, and maybe, it's more of an exposure thing. He's gotten more exposure and gotten more of a push, maybe more than him improving in the ring, just because he was kind of unknown. But still, I think from going to being basically unknown to being a main eventer,
he went from TNA limbo,
having several match of the year contenders and a great series of matches with Tanahashi, a great match with Machine Gun Anderson. He's just all over. He's kind of like Tanahashi's kind of the man in New Japan, but then Okada's like right on that next level, and it didn't take him long at all to get there. So I put Okada.
And he's still under 20. I think he's still like under 25 even.
He's a young kid.
Yeah, he's young.
That was going to be my pick, to be honest with you. But like you said, it was controversial.
Mm-hmm.
But to your credit on that pick, I remember when he won the title, people were not pleased. They didn't want to see him win the title, and so now people pay to see him.
Now people are begging to see him as the champion.
So I'd say that he did a hell of a job.
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, this is hard to swallow, even saying this out loud. But I'm going to say Mike Bennett.
That is hard for you to swallow.
This is going to be good. I can just sit there and watch this.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I was one of those guys that wanted the man crucified when he came in. I didn't like him.
We went to a live show.
Tell the Chicago story real quick.
You guys can go ahead and tell
that. We went to Unity with the Synergy show, and he was yelling for Mike Bennett's head when he came out.
Me and him were in the back row, and he probably could have heard him. And it's like he did a suplex and he dropped him, and he just like stands up and his veins are out. I was like, that looked like shit. And he was just on Bennett's ass the entire time.
I was not a fan of him. I must admit. I will admit. The thing is, he came in and was pushed, and in a way that a lot of people didn't think that he deserved.
Yeah.
I was one of them. And the thing, to his credit, he stuck to the way he cut his promos, which was his strength. He didn't change that. And he didn't really change his matches that much, except he learned from every guy he was in the ring with. Every match he had with Lance Storm, you could tell that he was getting better and better.
The series of matches with Lance Storm were great.
Oh, yeah. Those were great. Then he goes on and he's in King of Trios.
Oh, my God.
He was great. I would
say
he wouldn't be on this list if he wasn't in.
I would say right now, though, I love the fact that like fans were chanting Overrated to him like the first night, and then by the end of the weekend, like they're cheering. They're like they fell in love with the guy.
Yeah.
He was
because
great.
He owns the character, and that's what's
exactly.
great. But now he's found a way to blend the character and the wrestling match
Yeah.
into one entity, and it's
him and Eddie, like whenever they're in the ring together, like that's awesome. Like those two working together.
Those guys
oh
put on
man,
incredible.
they're
matches.
great.
But well, there's one more thing I wanted to say about him. Oh, and of course, Maria.
Yeah, oh yeah,
that was genius.
That's the best part about seeing him come to wrestle. It's like there's gonna be Maria. Unfortunately, once in a while brings Brutal Bob, which we could give or take.
Right. But
I could just give him. I don't like
yeah,
I like Brutal Bob.
Yeah, I don't think anyone likes Brutal Bob. He's a good trainer, but not a great to see at wrestling.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, next is Female of the Year or Women Wrestler of the Year. I think we all got the same one, so I'm gonna say it. Sarah Del Rey. I mean, is there anyone else we can pick?
You could. But
Well, okay, yeah, but like a lot of the girls from King of Trios this year were great, but
Yeah.
Sarah I think deserves it because if she had not signed a deal with WWE, she would have been the next grand champion in Chikara, and she would have been like the first woman to hold the main belt in a major promotion, in which that is something I don't see any woman in wrestling right now besides her that has that capability.
no.
Yeah, and she seems to, it's she's one of the few that feels like she could hang with anybody.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
Her matches never seem like, I mean, she never seems like.
She has to be. She doesn't have to be carried.
Yeah, she doesn't have to be carried. She seems like she can go toe to toe with
Yeah.
anybody she's
No one
in
has
the ring
to.
with.
No one has to hold back.
Like she
on
went
her.
the match with Kingston. He's a very
Yeah.
hard hitter. She went toe to toe
Talk
with
about the
him.
match with El Generico, man.
Yeah.
We were there for that live. That match was insane.
That's one thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Is that is a match that everyone should go out, seek out, and see. I don't care if you like women's wrestling or not. This is
it will change.
This is a match
it will
that
change
has a
your
dynamic that almost no North American wrestling fan has seen.
Yeah.
It's just a new dynamic, and the thing is, it's totally believable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
People say that Sarah Del Rey could have held the title in Chikara, but that's not to say that she couldn't be one of the best wrestlers in any promotion.
Yeah. If WWE was smart, they would bring her up from like just being a trainer to a wrestler because she will make those women work harder.
Yeah, she would make anybody better.
She could be on the roster and just wrestle men and she'd be fine. Like fuck China, man.
It's weird because when we talk about best wrestler, women's wrestler of the year, a lot of people are thinking of WWE.
Yeah,
like,
Gail Kim.
We're talking. You have to see it to understand the way that she works.
She was trained by Daniel Bryan. I mean, it's like so obviously she's a great wrestler.
She's a great worker.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't heap enough praise on her.
So worst TV show, 3, 2, 1, Raw.
I didn't say it, but it's Raw.
Yeah. 3 hours is just too much.
Yeah, I didn't think it was doing that great even before then, because I remember even before the 1000th episode was kind of like they were just totally in the tank, and I was like, they're just saving up for that. Then after that, they went back in the tank, 3 hours.
They pick up a little bit here and there, but yeah, it's just been
It seems like a lot of times it's just confusion.
Yeah.
Like it's
the show's poorly paced.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times it feels like you'll see two guys in the ring, neither one of them have a storyline, and you're just like, is this just to fill time?
Yeah.
Because I don't watch wrestling to fill my time.
Granted that most of the matches now get more time, and like some guys look better. Like for instance, like one with like Damien Sandow versus Sheamus was a nice match, and like got to show like how good Sandow is in the ring, but it's like it didn't lead anywhere, and that's the thing. Like you just
the continuity will make your head hurt. The lack of continuity.
Definitely.
Best TV show.
I would say for the first time ever, Impact Wrestling.
Impact, yeah.
Gotta say Impact.
Over the summer, they were kicking ass. They were, on a hot streak, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we were like so behind the Austin Aries Bobby Roode feud.
Yeah.
And the Bound for Glory series.
It was good before that.
It was better. Yeah. They've done a lot to change their product.
I would say it's just a I wouldn't say it's a consistently great show, but it's a consistently watchable show.
There's always something worth watching.
It's easy to watch for me.
And one thing I did want to point out about Impact above any other TV show, maybe aside from ROH, I don't really get the chance to watch that, but the TNA Impact shows, they're putting on good matches.
Yeah, man.
Good TV quality matches. And when I say that, people, when they watch wrestling shows on TV, they want short wrestling matches that captivate. And I feel like that's what they've done.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Best talker. You want to start this one off, Justin?
Yeah, I'm going with Kevin Steen, just because one of the things I think he did that I've never seen a lot of people do, or like he utilized this more than anybody, is that he used like YouTube and the internet. Like it wasn't on like a regular show, wasn't on TV, wasn't on like the house shows or pay-per-views. He used the internet to cut promos, and they furthered the storyline more, and we've been seeing that a lot more.
Yeah.
And his promos are just always entertaining, meaningful, believable. I just think Steen is the best going right now.
Well, now you got me questioning what I do, because you're right. He's head and shoulders above most guys.
Yeah. He carried the ROH product when it was in its worst.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he was the only thing.
Absolutely.
The thing is, he's a guy that he'll go out and do shoot interviews.
Yeah,
and they're not any different than his interviews in the middle of the ring.
He is a lot like Punk. He'll shun the company and he doesn't care what happens.
But that said, I did not put Kevin Steen. I put Austin Aries.
Yeah.
Because
can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with the greatest man that ever lived.
I can't name one segment. I don't remember a segment with him on it that I didn't enjoy.
The backstage promos with Hogan.
The thing is, you know that none of that was prepared.
And I must say, it wasn't talking, but Aries looking at his highlight package and dancing
Yes,
was one of the greatest
thing ever.
If somebody has that footage,
Yeah,
send it to us.
Please,
That is the funniest thing I've seen.
Please put that in the comments.
years.
We want to see that. We've been looking at for that forever. We cannot
my
find
God.
that. That is
Matthew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
You watching?
yeah.
He's not
Nah, you got better shit to do. Okay, so me, I guess. I'm gonna say CM Punk.
So we got the trifecta of the three guys that
Those
could have
were-
been.
Yeah.
So-
Is
Well,
there
actually,
anybody else even in the?
Cole, I'd say Cole too. It's up there.
I don't know. I don't think he's in that.
Well, for
Okay.
stuff.
Anyway, we're not talking about Cole right now.
CM Punk just this year, like he was great as a face, and like he was great at cutting those promos. He was, really good when he was working with Jericho was really good. Just his back and forth was so great. But then when he turned heel, that is a really hard thing for a guy as over as Punk to do. But he made it so much easier with his promo skills. And the thing was, he acknowledged the audience chanting for him, and he would blister them. He would tell them to shut up. And he was acknowledging the fans still cheering for him and making it easier and easier for the fans to boo him. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I got to give him credit for. It's like he made it easy to hate him.
I will say this about Punk. That's probably a little bit different from the other two guys, is that he knows on a higher level how to react to a crowd that's acting not how he expects.
Yeah,
some guys, like you watch, for example, Sheamus, when the crowd doesn't react the way he
just laughs it off.
He freezes. Or he freezes, or he'll just do the laugh thing. Yeah. Punk knows how to react to just about any crowd.
Punk will get you to boo him no matter what. He knows how to make a crowd hate his guts, and I think that just comes from him working at the Indies and just being so good at working the crowd into a frenzy. And
I think another thing that should be said about Punk is that it speaks volumes when a guy is on crutches and still has the best segment.
Oh yeah, that's the hell yeah.
So
miles above anything else on the show, I think. Okay, so let's do best promo. Why don't you start us out with best promo of the year?
All right, I'm gonna go with a promo that a lot of people probably didn't see.
Yeah,
and that was all three of us did. Mm-hmm. That was Johnny Gargano's.
I knew you were gonna say this one. Yes.
Pay-per-view about indie wrestling dying.
Yeah,
it was the Untouchables.
Untouchable 2012. Yeah,
and this was a great promo.
Yeah.
Anyone should go out of their way to see this promo. It's not just a talking point in wrestling. It's about the business itself, and I can't say anything bad.
It's from the heart too. It's you could tell he planned it out well, and he had his talking points, but it was very much, you could tell that he meant every word of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Is that what your?
That's mine. Yeah. I'm just gonna segue into saying that's mine.
I will say though, you can find that on YouTube. Gabe has put like part the promo online on his yeah. So
go watch it. It's awesome.
Great promo. I did not pick that one. I picked one from Adam Cole, the Runstein Run promo he did, leading up to his match with Kevin Steen at Mystery Vortex. It's a great promo. It's basically just him acknowledging the fact that Kevin Steen is so great and like his psychological game's great, and just Adam Cole basically acknowledging the fact that Kevin Steen is so great and just putting Steen over as an opponent, but then acknowledging like, I'm smarter than you, I'm everything you hate, I'm a good looking guy, I'm athletic, I'm in shape, and just it's a great promo, and just it really showed why Cole is so great at being a talker, because he didn't yell, he didn't scream, he didn't swear, he didn't do any of the generic things you see from a lot of indie promos. He just basically talked rationally. He talked about how great Steen is, and that's one thing you don't see. Is you don't see guys putting over their opponent enough in promos. You see them burying their opponents, and that's one thing that I thought was really cool. And just it's a great promo. You can find that easily online, but it's a great promo, and I just thought that was one that like really stood out in my mind.
All right, we got worst feud next.
Worst feud. Worst feud. Okay. Who wants to start this one off?
I guess.
Not me.
I'll start. There was some pretty good choices.
Oh, there's many. There's many.
This one, I probably just chose because it sticks out in my mind as being recent, is the whole AJ versus Vicky Guerrero feud. Okay. But I could have said almost anything AJ's been in for a while.
Oh, God.
I also hated the whole, it was kind of a filler feud, but I hated the whole Cena-Kane feud, too, just because it killed off Ryder and it was pointless and even.
And it was pointless. I'm
going to say AJ versus Vicky just because they're just both so annoying, and I know that, Vicky's supposed to be annoying, but AJ has become insufferable to me, and it's like, I don't know who to root for. I just want both of them off of my television. I hate AJ as a manager authority figure. She's terrible. Yeah. Her character has not really gone anywhere. They don't know what to do with her. I just think this feud is garbage, and they dragged Ziggler and Cena into it, and
it's a shame that Cena-Ziggler feud got buried with this fucking bullshit.
That's why that's my worst. It might not be the absolute worst, but it's definitely the worst recent
It's pretty bad, though.
Yeah.
You want to go next?
Well, I was going to hold out, but I will go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you, Justin. Now, I was hoping you'd say a different one, because I think most people would say that the Claire Lynch debacle in TNA was the worst.
But the thing with that feud,
that's worst
storyline, yes. Yeah. But the feud between AJ and Daniels was great.
Well, the thing is about that Claire Lynch
debacle is a good word for
debacle.
It was just heinous.
It was a debacle.
The thing is about it is that it's almost, to me, it looked like people at WWE watched this horrible bit of television, and one of them thought, that's a great idea. And then they made the AJ Vicky, John Cena angle, and
they're both the strongest
horrible.
Contender, probably at least two of the strongest contenders.
Definitely.
So.
I can't say enough terrible things about this match.
Okay.
I just got done cursing about it before we started the tape.
Yeah.
Mine is not that one. I said Aces and Eights feud versus TNA.
Wow, you're gonna get a lot of hate
I don't give a shit. Let me say this right now, okay? This had some potential. It was TNA bringing a bunch of unsigned guys into the ring, giving them as like this invasion storylines, like a bunch of gang bikers or whatever. And, it was pretty interesting up to a point. Bound for Glory comes around. You figure, they'll win. They'll unmask themselves. There'll be a bunch of new guys in TNA roster, and we can move from there. No, they're still masked. They're still jumping people. And it was revealed that Devon is like the fucking leader.
That was the best part. It was hilarious.
I never laughed so hard in my life. But it's just they have no clue how to book this thing, and the fact that they've been losing match after match after match.
They're not credible at all.
They're not a threat anymore. They're getting their ass kicked by fucking Sting. So it's like it's a horrible feud because they took an invasion angle, and instead of making us care about it by introducing people we know. It's a bunch of masked guys, and you're like, well, how the fuck are we supposed to care about these people? We don't know who they are.
What is with TNA allowing these people?
Yeah. It's like,
they must have the worst security in the world.
Well, they're allowed in now, but it's like, these are supposed to be guys who were hated by TNA roster, that the whole roster hates them, and yet whenever they're beating the shit out of someone in the ring, nobody shows up to stop it.
See, I can overlook all that. The problem I have is that you bring in a stable that's supposed to be a threat to the whole company. You have them losing matches, like you said.
Yeah.
Then you don't unmask anybody, tell Devon.
Yeah.
But then You don't unmask anybody else, and then by the time that you unmask Gallows and
Mike Knox recently.
Who everybody expected to be
Yeah.
The problem
the whole
is,
thing.
those guys have been off national television for so long, nobody knows who they are anymore.
No one gives a shit. They're a bunch of guys who jumped. They're WWE fired.
They're still jobbers because they can't win. They're still losing matches.
Yeah.
Okay. Best feud. This was a tough one because this year did not have many stellar feuds. But,
not many stellar prolonged feuds.
Yeah. Long. There were a lot of short, good ones. But you want to start smoke?
All right, I'm going to go with one that I don't know. You might say it, but I don't think you guys are going to go with it. I went with Kevin Steen and Scum versus ROH.
That was a good one. That
was a good one. I didn't go with it.
I felt like it could have been executed a lot better.
Yeah.
The TV shows and a lot of the shows this year were just not great. But Kevin Steen, to his credit, he brought this because it wasn't like a storyline. It was almost as if Kevin Steen was speaking through the fans' voice. Our frustrations he was feeling.
Yeah.
And he was airing those out on television on iPay-per-view, and I thought it worked better.
Yeah,
than most
I'll
things.
give you that one. You want to go next?
Sure. Okay, this is the one I had of any category I had the most trouble with.
I think we all agree with that one, yeah.
Just, if it sucks, then
just
please
say
forgive me for
just
this.
Just say it, man.
I said CM Punk versus Chris Jericho.
That was a good one.
Just because, I don't know, it didn't, I guess it lasted longer than a lot of...
Lasted 2 months, or 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a long feud, but like...
It worked.
It worked. It was pretty intense. They had a couple really good matches. The match at Mania was really good.
Yeah.
The match at Extreme Rules was really good. And it was a really personal feud, and it was just kind of unique. Like,
I think also it was like our internet wrestling community's wet dream to see these two guys have a feud finally.
Yeah.
I want to mention that I liked your pick.
Yeah.
And it was my second pick because that was a good feud. It was just not. I just felt like it was too short.
Exactly. It's criminally short.
That's the thing. Like, I felt like it didn't reach what it could have.
Exactly. I was gonna say for the longest time Storm vs. Rude, but I had so many fucking problems with how that was booked. So I gotta say one that I've actually not even seen a fucking matchup, but I'm just so excited to see it when they finally release the DVD of it. Colt Cabana vs. Adam Pearce, the 7 Levels of Hate. For me, I am legitimately excited to see these guys. Like, I've seen like the promo videos, I've seen the highlight videos. I'm super excited for these guys. I love what they've done with this thing. They made the NWA mean something again, which is something which I didn't know the NWA was still around until I started hearing about this. And it was just a feud that like really got a lot of people's attention. They went around, they toured, they took the matches other places, which was smart to get more people to watch the company, to pay attention to it, and just the matches were great. Also one thing I love about it, it was a best of 7 series, but the face was the one who got the early advantage with the 3-0 wins, and so Adam Pearce was the guy who was having to do the comeback and like
you never see that.
You never see that. It baffled my mind that Colt Cabana was in the lead. 3 wins to nothing against Pierce going into the and like that's something you never see. You see the classic heel getting the early advantage and the babyface makes the big comeback, but just the DVD's coming out like next month I think. Everyone should go out there and buy it just to support these two guys and just how well they did. Adam Pearce needs to be in TNA or WWE this year.
Now the thing is about the feud, I'm sure it'll be great to watch.
Yeah.
I don't want people to expect 5-star matches out of these guys. No. But these are 2 guys. That's the thing. Yeah.
The story is great.
The hate that they carried around.
Yeah.
There's something about that you just.
You can. It's a lot like Steam Generic. You just sense like when they're in the ring, there's a level of hatred, and like in a lot of ways, it's 2 polar opposites. It's Adam Pearce, the very much the old school wrestler, and Colt Cabana, who's the new school, who's kind of a little bit more goofy and a little bit more comical, to the serious Adam Pearce. It's wrestling in its basic form. It's good versus evil, and that's one thing this feud brought. And I cannot say enough things about it. I really want to see this match, or these matches. There's 7 of them. Next up is the worst major show of the year. This included pay-per-views or DVDs from like P2G and such like that. Who wants to go first?
I guess I will go first.
Okay.
My worst, I don't know if it was the absolute worst, but it left the worst taste in my mouth, was TNA Lockdown. Just left a horrible taste in my mouth. The main event.
That is one reason why I could not pick Storm vs. Rude.
I also thought the show in general wasn't that good, other than I thought Angle versus Hardy was good. Everything else on the show pretty much sucked or was unmemorable. The actual lockdown match was terrible in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
Oh
hated
my god.
it. And then just the finish was just so unbelievably horrible. I don't know if everyone's seen it, if I should spoil it or
Garrett-
not. But I'll just
Yeah,
let you,
it's 2013.
Yeah,
boys.
fucking say it, man. Go ahead and talk about it.
they did a finish where basically they build up James Storm, pushing him to the moon to be the next champion, and not only does he lose in the cage match,
He
super kicks Bobby Roode out of the cage, and Roode wins via Storm being a dumbass, and that kills Storm's.
It was a fucking house show finish for a major pay-per-view.
For anybody who is a longtime wrestling fan, you will know that is also how Vince Russo won the WCW title.
No, he won by getting speared through the fucking cage.
Still the same.
Yeah,
finish.
same kind of
ridiculous, stupid
dumbass.
then, stupid now.
Yep.
And the thing is, Lockdown is seen as the second biggest show.
Probably,
but
yeah,
really,
probably.
it's might even be the biggest show of TNA's year, and that's
pretty
what they
consistent.
give
Yeah.
us.
That's the reason I picked it. It might not be the absolute worst show, but
It
it
did
was the
leave a
most
horrible
disappointing, left a horrible taste. It was the
I have
biggest
to agree.
letdown.
The thing, and honestly, when I think about that show, because I remember being excited about that show.
Oh yeah. I think a lot of people were just because the build-up.
People ask me, if someone were to ask me, what do you remember most about that show? I would tell them Ric Flair taking his clothes off and having a meltdown.
Throwing the
That
shoe.
was the best part.
Throwing the shoe into the cage.
After a marathon pointless Hogan promo, Flair
That led nowhere.
at least did something.
Yeah.
But that's not my bad part of the show. Was Hogan rambling?
Oh god, for no fucking reason. Just a reminder when they're still working for TNA.
I'm going with Lockdown.
I said Lockdown as well. I cannot believe it. We both voted the same. And I'll say right now that is one reason. Just like that main event, that old school feel. Like you were so excited for that, and that was the finish they had. And also the crowd was dead. Like the crowd did not give a
the
shit
crowd was
about
completely
that
dead,
show.
and like I said, there was only one memorable match. It wasn't like a blow.
I didn't say that the match between Storm and Roode was good, but it didn't have that finish you wanted. You wanted a real finish.
That's the thing. I can't rewatch that match because it wasn't a bad match up till the finish. Just the finish just left such a horrible taste.
Exactly.
I can't watch it again.
Okay, well let's go somewhere positive. Best show of the year. You want to start this one?
Sure. I'm going to go with King of Pro Wrestling.
Yep.
From New Japan Pro Wrestling. This was a great card. Top to bottom, great. The main event, the top half of the card.
Oh yeah,
was just
top half
sick.
was one of the best I've seen.
The last three matches.
The junior heavyweight title match, awesome match.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can't go wrong with this show.
That's a great.
There's nothing, and the thing is that I love about it is that New Japan has they just have the ability to make those big shows feel like you're watching like big UFC fights, like real these guys hate each other, and maybe that's the language barrier, but
well, a lot of those guys are former
MMA guys or whatever.
Yeah, like
mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
guys.
a lot of
just
them
even the guys standing across the ring from each other, you're just like, man, this is gonna be good, and it was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, I'm gonna agree because it was just not only was it a consistent show, it's like nothing on the show was bad.
No.
First of all, the opening match was probably the worst part of the show, but it still wasn't bad. It just had a little bit of everything. It had great tag team matches. It had a great hard hitting juniors match with Low-Ki and Ibushi.
Yeah.
And then of course you had the main event, which is one of the best matches I've seen in years: Tanahashi versus Suzuki.
Yeah.
Just about everything you could ask for out of a wrestling show. I thought it was the best show of the year. I do want to have an honorable mention, though. I loved PWG's 3 Men Just 3. That'd probably be number 2 for me.
I think we can all agree that's like the second best show of the year. Like
yeah.
that. It's 3 for 3 again. King of Pro Wrestling. I'm not a big pure wrestling fan, but even I loved this show. I thought it was great. I mean, like the language barrier is hard to get past, but like you're just so engrossed by the wrestling, and just I remember like especially like the junior heavyweight match between Low-Ki and Ibushi was great. Machine Gun Carl Anderson versus Okada was like that last 5 minutes of that match was insane. Mm-hmm. And of course the main event that everyone talks about, and just it's a great match from top to bottom. I cannot think of one match that was bad. And if anything that was bad was just like so short. It's like, okay, well, just move on. Mm-hmm. But just from top to bottom, that's like picture perfect how to book a wrestling show.
And if you're not into Puro very much and want to check it out, this is probably the perfect place to
start. It's a great way to start. I'm not a Puro. I've never seen a Puro wrestling.
I'd say New Japan more so than other Japanese companies. It's easier to get into too. They're more
straightforward.
Well, they're also more
There's a spectacle involved. Also.
Spectacle, yeah. It's probably more familiar. It'd be more familiar too.
It's also less about feuds. Like Dragon Gate, has really strikes for feuds and stables and stuff like that. Not so much in New Japan, I think. Okay, next is stable of the year. I'll go first with this one. I said it's a new coming stable, but the Shield. The Shield this year, I think when they showed up at Survivor Series, everyone was blown away by them being on television, and we're just super hyped for it. And also there was a bit of fear in the air about oh great, WWE's gonna ruin these guys, they're gonna waste them, and it's just the negativity among the people. But they were so excited to see them on television. And then going into Survivor Series, that TLC match, everyone's like, okay, this is it. This is gonna be the big moment. This could make or break them. And that match was phenomenal.
Oh, that was a really good match.
That may be one of the best TLC matches I've seen in WWE for a long time. I mean, that match was incredible. Everything about that match was perfectly booked. How the Shield wrestled, everything. And just the promos the Shield have been cutting. The fact they actually gave them a purpose. They gave them a justification for what they're doing, which is awesome. Which you don't see enough in a heel stable. It's not enough for just guys to beat up people. They need to have a reason. You need to give them some kind of motivation. And I think the Shield have done a great job of establishing themselves fast as three guys who are going to be big in WWE this year. And I love watching the Shield. They make a shitty promo or a shitty segment into something exciting because here they are again, on television.
I'd also like to say about that match, the TLC match, one of the things that I never see this in any promotion is that the Shield, they were debuting and they were the well-oiled machine and they were the heels and they didn't play the coward. Kind of a little bit, but they controlled a lot of the match. They were controlling most of the match, and they had the superior strategy because they isolated people and used their numbers, and just the whole match made sense and it was great. Yep. It was really. That was
one of the best matches of the year.
Is that who you'd pick for stable of the year?
No, it is not. Ooh. I'm gonna go with Scum. Kevin Steen, Jimmy Jacobs, and Steve Corino, just because they carried ROH when it was at its worst. They were consistently entertaining. Those three guys are all awesome at promos, all solid in the ring.
No, Steve Corino's a little bit sloppy nowadays.
Good.
But I love Steve, but he's not quite as good as he used to be. Let's admit that though.
Yeah, but I mean.
And also, thank God he got rid of those tights.
I'm just going with Scum just because they were. Just because they pretty much
carried the company,
yeah, and also they're just three really good talkers and it's good at what they do.
That's fair. I would agree with that also, but I'm also going to go with the Shield. I felt that these guys, since their debut, they did a great job of capturing the audience's imaginations, and not just the indie fans, but these guys got people interested that didn't know anything about them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. What I really, really liked about them is that they spent time on making us know who each one of them were. Ambrose is going to talk. And Rollins is probably going to talk a little bit, but he's an angry guy. And then Reigns is the muscle.
Yeah.
But, there's very few other stables out there where everybody's lines were clearly drawn, where we knew what to expect from these guys. I thought they did a really nice job of doing that with these guys.
Yeah,
laying it out.
They've done a great job with them. Tag Team of the Year. I'll start this one off. I actually said what Justin said for most underrated, the Super Smash Bros. They didn't really get a lot of places in other companies, but I think in POG, man, they shined big time. I mean, starting out the year by winning the DDT4 tournament in probably one of the best DDT4 tournaments that PWG's done in years. Mm-hmm. I can't think of one that's better. Beating the Young Bucks for the titles against Death 12 but Metal, the 3-3 ladder match, and then later on this year, at the end of the year, where they had the matches with the Rockness Monsters and Strong and Edwards. They've just been on a roll, and they've shown people why they deserve to be considered a top tag team. And I just think I've loved every match they've been a part of. Even their matches in Dragon Gate USA and Evolve, they've done a great job of just being entertaining. And they can make a shitty team like the Scene in an entertaining match. We were there for that.
The Scene sucked really.
God, that was
terrible.
Horrible.
They're awful.
They bring down the entranceway. That was awesome.
Yes. Plus, we met Shooting or SSB.
Yeah,
we met them both.
Yeah, they're great guys.
They're absolutely hilarious.
They should be back in ROH. Please.
They deserve everything. They need an East Coast promotion to take them and push them.
Delirious, please book the Super Smash Bros. Again. We want to see them back. You know.
Yes.
We miss them.
Yes, we do.
Fuck Jim Cornette for that one. Sorry, Jim.
we still love.
I love Jim.
We love you, Jim.
I'm a Jim Cornette guy. Yeah.
That's exactly how I would have.
God damn it, Jim.
All right. For me, the tag team of the year I went with was Bad Influence. That's Christopher Daniels and Kazarian.
That's a great tag team.
These guys, they went out there and they put on great matches. They won the tag team titles in TNA.
I think twice too.
Was it twice?
Yeah, because they won it back from AJ and Kurt.
That's right. They went out there. They had great matches. They went and every time they were in the ring, they had good promos. They were funny.
Yep.
Their backstage segments are hilarious. Daniels with that glove and the martini is gold.
The Gundam style.
The Gundam style or Gangnam style.
Gangnam style.
It's called. That was great. And they did it all whilst being in arguably the worst storyline of the year.
Of TNA.
Gotta give it to
one of TNA. And also, they're also known by the name of the World Tag Team Champions of the World. And it's not redundant.
Right, not redundant.
I love that.
Okay, mine. I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me. I said the Young Bucks because they've probably been down a little bit from last year because last year they were just every show they were just dominating.
Yeah.
But I still think you think about Chikara. They had that awesome match at
Chikara's Rex.
Chikara's Rex against Fist. That was one of my favorite tag team matches of the year. They had an awesome showing as part of Team ROH in King of Trios.
Campeones de Pareja.
Yeah, Campeones de
They won that
Parejas.
from Fist.
And they had the matches in PWG, the Tremendous 3-ladder match. I just think, in terms of match quality, they were the best team.
They didn't win a lot in PWG. Like, they actually only won one match in PWG this year.
Right. Yeah, I just think they put on great matches,
they were awesome
and I
this
enjoyed
year.
watching them. So, Young Bucks.
Okay, what do we got next? Promotion of the year. Who wants to start this one off?
I guess I can start.
Go for it.
This one was actually toughy. I think PWG is consistently amazing, and they put out, in my opinion, the best wrestling product right now. But my pick for the best promotion is New Japan Pro Wrestling because they just continue to improve. They continue to build new guys that I want to see. They continue to, I picked them because not only do they put out a great wrestling product, they're also very successful. They know how to change with the times, more so than any other promotion in Japan for sure. To me, they're just the best combination of putting out a great product that is both a great wrestling product and being entertaining, and they're also pretty financially successful, the most successful in Japan. I'm going with New Japan.
Finally made on the iPay-per-view too, which is that's a godsend, I think, for a lot of wrestling fans.
And to that, I want to say that not only they might be the best promotion of the year. That's not exactly who I put, but it's hard to argue against that. That's the thing, because they're such a big company, and they have such a big roster, and it's not.
That's what set me apart from PWG for me. Like in terms of match quality and show by show quality, PWG is just amazing. Puts out amazing shows. Just that they're a smaller company, and I don't hold that against them. They do what they do well, and
they do supercards. That's all they ever do.
Yeah, I mean PWG is awesome, but for me, for this year, New Japan.
I'm going to say my promotion of the year is PWG for one simple reason. I have seen literally every single show this year, and I've bought every single show this year. I didn't buy World's Finest just because the 4-way tag team match was taken off the card, and the Davey Kyle match, which I wanted to see. But DDZ4, Death to All the Metal, 3-3, Battle Los Angeles, Mystery Vortex, Failed Community. I bought every single show from PWG this year because they're all worth watching. They're worth your money. That's what they did great this year. Is they made it worth your time and effort to watch them. And one thing I'll say about them that I love this year is they took to YouTube, and for Battle Los Angeles especially, they use YouTube to get promos of each of their guys out there to let them see how they can go to promo. Which I like the fact that they're actually using YouTube now. That's something that they haven't really been focusing on promos at all. It's always been about wrestling, and it's kind of cool to see them working and using the tools they have now to get their work out there more. And just they've done a phenomenal job this year. And where the hell did they come from last year? Just a bat out of hell, and have just reigns supreme over wrestling, I think.
Well, I don't know about the last comment because I can't remember the last time I watched a PWG show and it wasn't good.
Well, I just mean like,
You know,
like
that's the thing
2010
about their
was good,
product.
too.
That I'm agreeing with you because I picked PWG as well. Those guys put on a great show, top to bottom, every time. And the thing is, I don't, like Justin said, I want to hold it against them. Maybe it's because they're a smaller company and maybe it's because they run the same couple of venues.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that doesn't stop them from getting bigger audiences. People, more and more people are buying the DVDs. More and more people are hearing about these wrestlers. There's a lot of those guys on their roster that people demand to see on the East Coast.
They make stars through just showcasing them, allowing them to wrestle, which you don't see hardly anybody do.
Yeah.
Right.
And what I meant by that PWG comment was like last year, just out of nowhere, like everyone was talking.
Well, they
about
became
PWG.
pretty much.
Yeah.
The best.
They just came out. And they just like started. Everyone started talking about PWG. That was what I meant.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Most outstanding wrestler. Why don't you start this one off for us?
Who? Smoke?
Yeah, you smoke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Let's see if I can find it here. All right, most outstanding wrestler. This was tough. This was
definitely.
very difficult.
I have like 5 names I thought of.
But I went with the American Clam Digger, Daniel O'Brien.
You didn't say it right. You gotta see the accent.
But I mean, there's really not. It was hard for me not to pick him because this is a guy that they tried to bury in 18 seconds at
Oh my
WrestleMania,
God. No,
and in
no.
18 seconds he got more over than Alberto Del Rio did in 9 months.
Yeah.
So
Calm down.
I mean, he goes out there, he puts on great matches.
Yeah,
and his character has come full circle. People, and the thing, he got over with not just hardcore wrestling fans. He got over with everyone.
Everyone does that yes chant now.
He is in the tag team. One of the tag team. Well, he is the tag team champions.
Yes,
Yeah, he is.
And I mean, he's a surefire main eventer. Everybody looks at him and believes that. Though your biggest, a little kid, 8 years old, saw him in the main event. He believed it.
Oh yeah.
He came around, and I think that he's done the best for himself.
One thing I'll say about this right now, he's improved a ton on his mic ability and his charisma. I mean, you know, he was pretty bland when he first started up in WWE. Like, man, you cannot deny that he's not entertaining now in the mic.
Plus, with the yes chants, that's something that's not going to ever die down.
No,
that's
the new what chant, I'd say.
Yeah, that's the you suck for Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
he'll never
leave him. He'll be at his funeral and people chanting no.
Right.
Don't do that. It's disrespectful.
Please don't never. Oh, thank God, no one does that. I'll go next. I said, for me, I had to think about a wrestler that I thought every single match he was in on pay-per-view or show, whatever, was good. And for that, it's Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen this year,
Worthy choice.
you know, from the 10th anniversary show with his match with Jimmy Jacobs, to Show in the Sun with his match with El Generico, to his matches with Davey, to his matches with Elgin and Kingston, and all these guys that were throwing, even his match with Rhino at Death Before Dishonor, every single time he was in the ring, he was the best match on the show. Every single time. Yeah, just about.
Yeah, that's fair.
And in PWG, he took that company by storm. He took on everyone. He blew away the competition. I mean, you know, his matches with Willie Mack was great. His match with Brian Cage Taylor was great.
He proved that he can be the veteran carrying the young guy.
Yes, he can be a veteran. He can be, you know, he doesn't have to be just in hardcore matches, which I think Ring of Honor made the mistake of booking him in so many of those. But if you watch his PWG stuff, man, he can wrestle a versatile type of match. You know, he wrestled like guys like Ricochet, and he was amazing with Ricochet. His Battle of Los Angeles match was great. And just, you know, Kevin Steen, just this year, every single time I saw him in the ring, I'm just like, I'm going to see something good here. And he did not disappoint at all this year, I think. I cannot think of one match this year that was bad.
Well, this was a very hard choice. For me, most outstanding is who I think has put on the best matches. I mean, Daniel Bryan is my favorite wrestler in the world. Kevin Steen is also one of my favorites. I think he's the man as well. I've got to give shout-outs to Davey Richards, who I've never seen have a bad match. He's maybe not as great this year just because he
took some time off.
He was overshadowed this year. A lot of people...
But still, every match of his is amazing. El Generico, every match of his is awesome.
Absolutely,
never disappoints. But I went with Hiroshi Tanahashi of New Japan just because he had matches that were not only amazing, but they were big matches, title matches. He's carried the company, carried the title.
He is the John Cena of that company. For sure.
Well, Well,
Except everybody loves
okay,
him. He's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't
Good point.
put it
Good
that
point.
way.
I apologize. That one.
But I mean, but also if you're just looking at match quality, I mean, for me, Suzuki versus Tanahashi is just about the best. I mean, that's the match.
You can't find him there. Yeah.
And then his matches with Okada were outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had in the ring. He's an amazing, versatile wrestler, great storyteller. Some people think Puro is just strikes and things like that, but he can sell really well. He's just a great
Pretty good high
all-around
flyer too.
Yeah, I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
He's the most outstanding wrestler.
Okay.
One more thing to add to that is that he is one of those faces that can hold the title as long as he wants, and people aren't going to turn on him because he's that good.
The wrestling, like people on the internet, like start like getting tired of him
The
holding the
internet.
belt. But yeah, the internet gets tired of him holding the belt.
Who's on the internet?
We are. Okay, now the big one, Wrestler of the Year. Who wants to go first? I guess I will. Okay. For me, this was an easy one. The guy who's held the belt for over 400 days, CM Punk. I mean, if you had told me 3 years ago even that CM Punk was going to hold the belt all of 2012 and into 2013.
If you told me any wrestler in WWE was going to
Any wrestler in WWE, like it's unfathomable. When was the last time someone held the belt for this long and the people were still entertained by him? I mean, CM Punk has done so much this year. If he was not in the best match of the card, he was in like the second best match. Okay, WrestleMania he definitely got overshadowed a little bit, but he delivered an excellent match. His matches with Ziggler, Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Kane, Cena. His matches with Cena were great.
His match with Ryback was watchable.
Yeah, it was at least watchable. Yeah, but like another match like that, a lot of people don't talk about was a match on Raw where he faced Mark Henry in a great match. That was I would love to see that match on pay-per-view even.
Yeah.
And just CM Punk has just proven this year that he is the best in the world. He deserves every accolade and achievement he gets. He earns it in that ring. He fights for every little thing he gets. WWE makes shit on him and bury him and not put him in the main event, but he's always the guy that you're paying to see wrestle because he delivers the best matches on the card. Hands down, the best in the world, I'd
Very
say.
definitive statement there.
Well
supported.
I will defend that statement until the day I die. CM Punk is the best in the world in WWE at least.
The best in World Wrestling Entertainment. So
Yeah.
No. I actually had a different answer though. So
That does not
I
surprise
can't
me.
agree with you. My answer is Mr. Wrestling Kevin Steen because he held the title in two different promotions, carried it, and he had great matches all the time.
He held in 3, C2W or whatever, a Canadian
Well,
promotion. So I just want to point that out. Yeah.
PWG. He was PWG champion for a long time, ROH champion.
Yeah.
And he carried both companies. Well,
He didn't carry
PWG, but he was the main. He was the man. He was the champion. He always had put on championship caliber matches. All of his matches have been great. He's had 2 great matches. His matches with Generico are always great.
Oh
He has 2 great matches with Generico this year. That match with Elgin was great. He's like
Legendary.
you said before. His match with Rhino. His promos have all been great. CM Punk's definitely a great choice, but I'm going with Mr. Wrestling.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, that's a really good choice.
I didn't pick him, but I want to say one thing about him is that not only was it all that, but him on commentary.
Oh my
is
god!
something that
Him and Excalibur. I would just love to see those guys just talk for hours. Like I could listen to those guys.
The thing is, and I feel bad saying it, is the most memorable thing about some of those matches were the things that they said, and those were fantastic matches. So I want people need to see
Kevin
those
Steen
out.
has a future in commentary.
What was it? What was the best? Bola.
Bola, yeah.
See it.
Him talking like during Adam Cole matches is as entertaining as the matches. He is so funny. He loves Adam Cole too.
Oh, he
He
loves
got-
Adam Cole
he's-
almost as much as Alex loves
Panama
Adam
City
Cole.
Playboy.
I also have to say there's not a second of footage that I saw of Kevin Steen in 2012 that did not entertain me.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just consistently entertaining. That's why I've got to say he's my wrestler of the year.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a good pick. I also went with CM Punk. I mean, this guy's held the title, like you said, the
Over
longest
400
reigning champion in the modern era, or whatever
Past
they want to
25
call
years.
it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like I said earlier, this is a guy that can come out on a pair of crutches and cut promos and be awesome. This guy showed up Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he did.
Yeah.
And twice in the same night. And then, I mean, this is just the guy that he comes out every night and puts on, like you said, the best matches. And he stares right in your face and he'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. As long as he's delivering.
Hell
you
yeah.
know?
All right, and I guess that wraps up our award for 2012. If it's a success, maybe we'll do it again next year. So for my buddies Justin and Smoke, take care.